Quadratic Functions Part 9, Quadratic Formula. Previously, we learnt how to solve a quadratic equation by using factorisation. For example, solve x squared take 4x take 12 equals 0. Put that into brackets, you get x minus 6, x plus 2 equals 0. So either the first bracket equals 0 or the second bracket equals 0. So we get answers of x equals 6 or x equals negative 2. Sometimes, however, factorising is not possible. Try to factorise x squared take 5x plus 3 equals 0. If you did that, you'd have factors of 3 of just 3 and 1. Adding them gives you 4, subtracting them gives you 2. That's not what we need 5. So what do? Well, what we do is we solve it using the quadratic formula. Quadratic formula can be used to solve any quadratic equation, including the ones that do factorise. We must have the quadratic in the correct format before we start. It must be equal to 0. So this format of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. For example, if we've got 3x squared equals 10 minus 2x, then this needs to be rearranged. Take away 10 and add on 2x to both sides, and you get 3x squared plus 2x minus 10. And that's now in the ax squared plus bx plus c format we need. Once we have the quadratic in the correct format, we can use the quadratic formula, which is x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now you get given this formula, so there's no need to memorise it. So let's do two examples. Example 1, solve the equation x squared take 5x plus 3 equals 0. First we need to determine the values of a, b and c since it's already equal to 0. So we've got a single x squared, so that means that a is equal to 1. Minus 5 is the coefficient of x, so b is negative 5. And c equals 3. We then substitute these three values into the formula. Now, it says minus b, so we're wanting the minus of negative 5, so that's positive 5. So watch out for that one, that type. Underneath the square root, negative 5 squared, take away 4 times 1 times 3, all over 2 times 1. And the negative 5 squared is 25, take away 4 times 1 times 3, that's take away 12. 25 take away 12 is 13. Then we need to split the plus minus into plus and minus. So starting with the plus, get 5 plus the root 13 over 2. Now make sure that you get the answer for the top first by pressing equals. So 5 plus root 13, then press equals. Then press divide by 2 to get your answer. If you don't press equals before you do divide by 2, there's a chance that your calculator will only divide the root 13 by 2 instead of the full thing by 2. And the same procedure for the minus. 5 take away root 13 equals divide by 2, so that's 0.697. And every quadratic function formula question asks you to round to so many decimal places. Here I've chosen 2 decimal places. Example 2, solve the equation 2x squared plus 3x minus 7 equals 0. So again, it's already equal to 0, so there's no need to rearrange. And we can see that a is 2, b is 3, c is negative 7. Then substitute these into the formula. b is negative 3, so it's minus 3, plus or minus 3 squared, take away 4 times 2 times negative 7. So this time, what we need to be careful of is we've got a negative and then another negative there. So you can either think about the 4 being negative 4, or you can just think about this as being a takeaway. So 4 times 2 times 7, that's 56. But we've got a negative there, so that's negative 56, but we're taking away a negative 56, so that means we're adding on 56 to the 3 squared, which is 9. So that gives you 65 underneath the square root, and on the bottom it's 2 times 2 this time, so it's 4. Then splitting this into plus and minus, and we get 1.27 for the plus, and we get negative 2.77 for the minus.